Hey, this is Jeremy with Mountain's Edge. I'm gonna come and sit down with you guys for a minute, like we're sitting in a living room and have a little share of the heart, I guess. And I don't know, maybe it'll lead to some good conversations, or maybe you find something in there. And I have more stories stored up in my poor brain than I can ever recall in a day. Usually, I do best when I'm talking with somebody about what's going on in their life. And now I'm talking at a camera, so we'll see how this goes, eh? But I think where to start might be. I'll talk a little bit about how I came to the Lord, I guess, because it's a funny story. I grew up in the South, and I won't go into a lot of my childhood and stuff, but let's just say the couple experiences I had in church didn't want me to go to church. I did start to have some spiritual feelings and thoughts and practices. I tried quite a few things. I tried being a little Buddhist. I tried being a little Wiccan. I tried a few things gave each one a good year and a half or something, and I was searching around and ended up getting married and going on in life. My wife, she wasn't very, she had more of a Christian upbringing, but wasn't very Christian. And one day, which was very out of character to us and without discussion, I come home from work and she told me, I went to a church. I took the kids. At that time, I had a couple kids that were pretty young. And so I took the kids. And I was like, oh, okay. And she's like, I really wish you could come. And she goes, it's not like normal church, Jeremy. They got like a band with an electric guitar and all kinds of stuff. And I kind of, I hemmed it off. I had been working on Sundays for years, but she just kept going. She kept going for a few months. And finally, she talked to me and asked if I could kind of make it work, try to get the time off to go on Sundays. And in relationships, there always has to be some understanding of each other. It can't be about one person's opinion and thoughts only. That's always the wrong answer. And so I told her I would try. And the one promise I said is that I said I won't try to shut it out. So I went to church. You know, they'd have a stand, sing some songs. So I stand out of respect, but I wouldn't sing a song because, well, I just didn't really expect that to be where I needed to be. After a while, another month or so went by. They kept giving me free coffee and donuts every morning. And I'm kind of a guy that, you give me something free, I feel like I got to give back. So we started just picking up after the service and cleaning up, or I'd clean a bathroom and do that thing. And, after a couple months, I'd sing the songs, but I just wouldn't say Jesus because I just couldn't handle that one at the time. I was good about God. I think I always really had an understanding of the Creator, something greater that put all the order, that we see. I mean, there's order in this world that it's not a splat of paint accident, from the microbes to everything that feeds on each other, to our environment, to the cosmos, to the universe. And but Jesus was hard for me. And then, I got to where I'd kind of sing Jesus after a few months. Some people one night, there was a service that really spoke to me, and it kind of broke me a little bit. I had a bunch of people pray for me. Then about a month later, I was starting to engage. It took probably 4 months, and I felt that cool, that quiet whisper. A lot of times we feel spiritual things of different sorts, and we feel that chill to your hair stands up or whatever, and it's like that. But it was an overwhelming peace. I had asked the question in my spirit, or I guess in my prayer in my heart, and I felt this rush, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. And I felt like God was saying yes. And I'm like, Lord, is that you? And a whoosh, it hit me again. And that was the beginning. That was the very beginning where I started to go, wait a minute, there's something going on here. And the spirit of giving, caring for people, that comes naturally to me. I mean, I've always been a very protective soul to my loved ones and to people, but I'm always, I have a whole litany of friends that come here, a bunch of them, list of friends that come here that when they have bad days and we talk, we just sit down and talk about life. I don't judge them, and the thing I think I found was acceptance and love, because that's the only thing that breaks the world is to be accepted and loved. You know, I've sat down with murderers. I've sat down with people who have bared their soul for the things that keep them up at night. And I wouldn't encourage those things, sure, but they needed somebody just to listen, to accept them and love them as they were, and meet them there. And that's how it started. I was starting to hear the Spirit of God. He was starting to get into me. It was really, I had prayed a lot and really put myself out there with the Lord. And there was this retreat, and we were going to. I was told it was a men's retreat, and I expected something like 100 people or something at the most. But I got a whole week off for vacation. I told the Lord, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. He says, you'll find me when you seek me with your whole heart. I got a week, Lord. I'm coming. So we drove all the way out to this place in Kansas City. And I found myself, instead of with 100 guys, I found myself with 10,000 young adults that were hungry for the Lord. And a time and era for that ministry that was real beautiful. And boy, did he get me. I went down into a prayer room with a bunch of people and worship. Got lost for about 2.5 hours on my knees, just in the spirit. Where time doesn't even count anymore. And I come out of it enough to know I was supposed to go meet my friends that I traveled there with. And I come out and I looked at them and I'm like, I'm sold. I'm sold. They're trying to figure out where to go to lunch, and I'm just going, I'm sold. And they looked at me like I was a goof nut. But man, that started. It lit the fire, and man, there are so many hundreds of stories where I've seen God come through and shake me, help people fix things. There's so many things with the Spirit of God living in me, living in this world, and acting in others, and being at exactly the right place, or saying exactly the right things at the right time, and not because you know them, but because the Spirit gives it to you. And it really shaped my life. And but like all things in life, we are humans, and I tried to keep some stuff together that I followed after my wife, trying to keep our marriage. It just took a really weird right turn after 16 years when I didn't see it coming, and it was my own fault, but it led me down a path of brokenness for a long time, where I started to do more things in myself. And it's been hard. It's now been another long road at the end of that. And I'm coming out of it. But the grace of God never leaves. His perfect love and acceptance never leaves. If we would just be smart enough to sit down and accept it, it would do so much more for us. I didn't think a church, and I'm not saying the church is perfect, because it's full of people. But, if you look up the biblical truth of what a church is, it says there's where 2 or more are gathered in his name. I have been gathered with others that are not Christians, and we've been gathered in the Lord's name, and we've had the Spirit of God move, and truth comes, and healing comes, and love comes. I have a beautiful big family. I never would have even imagined this life. I have 4 beautiful children. I have 3 beautiful grandchildren. I have actually a blended family, so I have 3 other that are my stepchildren. So we have 7 kids total. And man, it has been the purpose of life. It has been the breath of life. After the name of the Lord, in Hebrew, Yahweh is the breath of life. It's God. And next to breathing, because God gives me breath and life, my family have become everything that's worth living for. And yes, myself as well, but when you put others before yourself and you love other people like that, it's so much easier to be with yourself. And man, maybe some of you guys can relate to that. I know times get hard. I was talking in one of the videos about looking at dead wood, cutting dead wood out of your life, and sometimes you just gotta stop going and pushing ahead and look back at what's damaged, why it's damaged, and who it's damaging. And then slowly you just cut that out and return to the grace, mercy. If it weren't for grace and oceans of grace, I wouldn't be alive today. I'm sure of it. I don't know how anyone can stand and look at the creation of this earth. Look at the trees. Don't look at all the buildings. That's us, right? That's people. But look at what God created. How the sun rotates, or how we rotate around the sun, the moon, how it affects our oceans, how the universes flow together, how the rain falls, how the fire purges, how all of it burns, works together, grows together, and continues to bloom for every new generation of observer. Every new generation where there's an invitation to just be accepted and loved by something greater than us. So, I didn't know what I was going to say about all this, but I started with that one, and maybe you just need somebody to sit down and build a relationship with, someone you can trust that'll love and accept you. Because there are people out there, and you should be that kind of person for others too. Because without it, when we're alone, we're lost. We're lost in ourselves. It is for others that we grow. It is for others and with others that we become something greater than the someone. So, God bless you all, man. And I hope it speaks to you. Find a nugget in there too, okay? Feel free to argue if you don't like it. I'll still love you anyways. Have a good night.